Alright, this video I want to say that, in my opinion, hip hop is the evolution of the martial arts. Alright, so I want to explain that. You know, sometimes people make the argument that, hey, cage fighting is the evolution of martial arts. No, not at all. Um, Kickboxing isn't, boxing isn't. Basically, first of all, those don't even classify as art forms to me. Those are sports, competitive sports. Contact sports. So, it's basically making something pure become impure. So you start off with the martial arts, and then you put a glove on somebody, and then you have them going to jump in the boxing ring. You tell them they can't kick, and they can only punch, and they gotta follow these rules. That's making the art form worse because you're putting restrictions on self-expression. And it's just different restrictions. No matter if it's boxing restrictions, wrestling restrictions, kickboxing restrictions, Muay Thai boxing restrictions, cage fighting restrictions. But the fact of just putting it in a competitive context and being destructive, meaning your aim is to destroy the opponent, it already turns it into something that's not an art. It's not expressing your spirituality and your creativity. Now, if you're talking about movies, then that could be considered a martial art expression because it's an art form, it's creativity. But when I go back to hip hop is an art form, it's a creative expression. You create something from nothing and you don't destroy, you create and you express. So hip hop to me is the evolution of the martial arts because the martial arts is just limited to like a physical combative expression. No matter if you're practicing forms, hitting a punching bag, using the wooden dummy, hitting focus mitts, creating a choreographed fight scene. But hip hop kind of allows you to transform the physical into the verbal. And then it can continue to be expressed in the physical. And that's what they call breakdancing because what's part of the hip hop culture is mainly breakdancing. And then there's the art expression of the graffiti, which I just remembered that. And then there's the verbal expression of like the rap music. So you got those three components. You got the physical expression, breakdancing, which is basically like an evolution to the martial arts because the martial arts is just limited. It's limited in its expression because it's only supposed to be expressed according to what is effective, what is a way of defending yourself. Its limit is that. Like, if somebody's doing like a backflip, that's not supposed to be like martial art. That's more like acrobatic. That's more gymnastic. It has really nothing to do with defending yourself. That's just something cool. Martial art is more designed where, okay, we're doing these movements because they're designed to defend yourself if need be. But breakdancing doesn't really have those limitations. Breakdancing is just basically expressing whatever you want to express, whatever you could be creative with as far as your body expression is concerned. So it transcends the limitations of the combative expression. So hip hop incorporates breakdancing. Hip hop incorporates graffiti. Graffiti becomes like a painting, like where you could paint, and express your your mental, your vision. Martial art doesn't have that. It doesn't really. Martial arts is just mainly like a physical expression. It's not like, where you draw anything. So it's not a part of the martial arts really to be artistic as far as drawing is concerned. So that's an element that hip hop has added, to take martial arts to the next level. And the other element is the verbal rapping. it's like now it's a verbal expression where you're using words and you're putting it together in a very artful way to essentially create music, create entertainment, and you see how popular hip hop is. It's like all these successful artists all over America and all over the world. So martial art may not be popular in America. Combat sports popular in America, but what is popular in America is hip hop. Hip hop is extremely popular. I mean, all these big names, you know, Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Kanye West, I mean, Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, the word, it goes on and on. The list of like all these accomplished rappers, it goes on and on and on. So much money is involved. It's like Bruce Lee with his verbal expression was limited to just breathing out when he's punching and using his voice as intimidation, using his voice as a way of bettering his technique in his physical expression. But you see how limited it was, because in most of his movies he barely talked, and you just hear noises like he's a cat. It's very limited. But compare that to rap, and like rap music and rhyming and poetry, the possibilities are endless. So how many different words that they could put together and have it rhyme, and then put it along with the beat to make a song, make music. It's like the evolution of the verbal expression of the martial arts is rap music. The evolution of the physical expression is breakdancing. The evolution of just being able to express yourself through picture is through graffiti in hip hop. So you see, all these three facets are all examples of evolution of the martial arts. Because people are bored with just hearing somebody like Bruce Lee sound like a cat. They want to hear some music. That's where rap music comes into play. People are bored with just seeing the same punching and kicking techniques over and over again. That's where breakdancing comes into play, because now they could do so many different things with their bodies to put the audience in awe. And then martial art doesn't even have a visual expression such as graffiti. So you see, I start to realize and understand why the martial arts is just very much not popular in America, because to Americans it's just too boring. They've seen that, done that. They want something more. They want something more alive, something more dynamic. And hip hop music has been thriving ever since its creation. It's even getting stronger, more powerful within the mass media. The breakdancing may not be as popular as far as making money is concerned, but you see breakdancers being hired to be put into like hip hop music videos, rap music videos, and things like that. But then hip hop breakdancing doesn't necessarily have to be limited to just breakdancing. It could just be dancing, and people love dancing. So you see them dancing all over the music videos for the verbal hip hop expression. So these are all creative ways of directing that chi energy, and that's what makes it artistic. So there's a huge difference between like a boxer and cage fighter and like a hip hop artist. A hip hop artist who could rap, who could do graffiti, who could do breakdancing. These are all creative ways of expressing the inner spirit. And that's what martial arts is all about, is about that creative self-expression. They basically so focused on the artistic creativity that they have transcended the need for any of the physical combative expression. But you also see a lot of hip hop artists and rap artists that are armed with guns as well, or they hire security to protect them and their wealth. You know, just like Barack Obama hires Secret Service to protect them. So there then comes the element of practical survival, practical self-defense, practical like situations of combat. You know, somebody wants to take your money, you know, wants to rob your home, wants to kill you. So what do you do to defend yourself? Well, that's when the modern technology comes out with the firearms. And you see the hip hop realm has everything that is modernized within the martial arts. And then now they even separate themselves from the martial arts by just creating different labels. So it's not anything to do with martial art. They just call it hip hop. You know, they just completely came up with a different label to express the modern way of expression of the martial arts. So they don't even call it martial arts anymore. They call it hip hop. You know, this is what I see, you know, as far as how the martial arts has transformed from back then till now. You know, to me, pretty much hip hop is the modern martial arts.